It's very natural for you to feel this way, especially when you have not been through any form of training, coaching, and you are not briefed on what to expect yet. It's natural for you to feel that way, and I can understand that. At the same time, you also realize that confidence comes from competency, and competency comes from practice. And you realize that the more you practice, the more competent you become, and from then on, you become more and more confident. In fact, when I first started my career, it felt like I was an introvert playing an extrovert game. I was someone who don't really like to socialize much, especially when I see people, that can speak very well or very charismatic. I always feel very inferior. I'm not sure if you felt that before. You just tend to prefer to be alone because you just want to talk to people, because you don't want to say the wrong things. I wanted to be more confident so that I can talk to people, I can have more meaningful conversations with people. It was tough because the initial struggle was that, you realize that when you are not good with language, for your information, I failed O-level English 3 times before I passed. And when your language is not strong, you can't possibly be confident talking to people. So that was when, I realized that I really need to do something about it. Instead of staying in my comfort zone, I know I need to do something about it in order to be more confident. And I realized that it all boils down to one thing, which is to practice. You want to make sure that you start to pick up this skill set by practicing more, by making mistakes, by having more awkward moments, by allowing yourself to be laughed at. Because you realize that the more you do it, the more you practice, the better you become at it. And the better you become at it, you become more confident at it. That was when I also started to push myself out of my comfort zone to really go and introduce myself in a networking event. Because usually in a networking setting, I would tend to be the one standing alone, waiting for someone to approach me rather than approaching people. But at that time, I had that revelation that, I really need to do something different. Because if I continue to be like that, I will forever stay the same. I started to approach people in networking session, go towards them, introduce myself. Sometimes it can be very awkward because I don't know what to say. It was funny, right? And but I realized that the more I do it, the better I become at it. I started to develop new ideas. I started to ask for answers. I started to research more online on what's a better way to introduce yourself, what's a better way to create conversation, how do you leave an impression after a conversation with people. So it really helped me. Eventually, I gained the confidence to eventually speak on stage subsequently. I spoke at different stage to from a small crowd to a bigger crowd. And that is when I realized that I have really expanded my comfort zone. That I began to have becoming more and more self-assured. I no longer look at the areas I'm not so good at, but rather what I'm good at. Here's my message to you. If you're not confident right now, it is perfectly fine. Embrace that. That is just a signal to you that you need to be more prepared. Just a signal to you that you need to start practicing more to be competent at what you do. Eventually, you will develop that confidence in you. Right? I hope that helps to assure you, because everybody will go through this phase in their career. Right? Everybody will, at a certain point of life, feel uncertain because they are not good at what they do yet. So confidence is a choice, because you can choose to develop their skill sets, you can choose to practice it. I hope you can start thinking about this and start taking massive action to ensure that you develop competency and confidence.